You're listening to JFDI with the two Lauras, the podcast for social media freelancers who want to get more visible, streamline their systems, master their mindset, and make more sales. I'm Laura Davis, and alongside my co-host Laura Moore, we're on a mission to make working as a freelancer easier, because working from home shouldn't mean working alone. We believe relying solely on long-term clients is a big mistake. It means your bank balance is capped and puts your income at risk when a client cancels. We're on a mission to help you avoid the retainer trap, and we want you to build a more flexible business, which means you can make more money without working with more retainer clients. If you're worried about being stuck in the retainer trap, then membership is the place to be. Inside, we give you the systems, training, support and accountability to build out new offers that don't mean taking on more long-term clients and commitments. You get monthly training from world-class experts in their field. You get coaching and support from both us and our incredible community of hundreds of other social media freelancers. And to make your life even easier, you also get access to Hubsy, the only software you need to run your business. So whether you need to send an invoice, schedule your content, manage your email marketing, or set up a website or sales page, we've got you covered. Annual membership costs less than £3 a day, and all the details are in the description. Now, on with the show.
On the show today, I want to talk about some email marketing mindset shifts, because if you've been around for a while, you will know that we love email marketing, and we're kind of often been talking about how important it is for social media managers to have an email list. And sometimes I feel like the reason that you're not doing it is because you have blockers in your mind. And so today I want to go through some of those blockers and try and help you to move forward, so that if you have an email list and you're not emailing, you start sending more emails. And if you don't have an email list, hopefully what I'm going to say in this episode will help you to understand how important it is to have one, and will give you a bit of a boost to get this to the top of your priority list. So I'm going to go straight into it. There's 3 mindset shifts that I want you to pay attention to in this podcast. They're all as important as each other. The first one is about why you should email. And look, you will know that you shouldn't just be building your business on social media because you don't own your audience and all of those sorts of things. You've heard that time and time again. I don't have to preach to the converted, but I will just reiterate, don't build your audience on someone else's land in terms of just being on one platform on social media, for example, because you could lose your account anytime. And that's not great. We know people in our communities who have had that happen. Some of them have been lucky enough to get their accounts back, others not so lucky, but you don't want to take that risk. But it isn't just about the risk, okay? It's about the difference. Email and social media are different. Social media is an attention platform. If you think about it, right? When you are creating content, you are creating content that is going to grab someone's attention when they're scrolling through looking for other things. That's why we talk so much about like the importance of hooks and visual hooks and all of those sorts of things, right? We're trying to get somebody's attention. That's the whole point of it. And people who are scrolling through social are not there looking for your content. They're not there looking even necessarily for anything to do with their business. They are looking at social media for so many different reasons. Maybe it's because they're waiting for the kettle to boil. Maybe it's because, there's something really rubbish on the telly, so they're kind of double screening. Maybe they're sitting on the loo. Who knows? So they're doing other things while they're scrolling through social, right? And there's loads of different messages about loads of different things going on. And so their brains are kind of all over the place. And so your whole job is to get their attention. So social media is an attention platform. Email is different. Email is a conversion platform. It's very different. When people open their email inbox, they're opening it with a purpose. They're opening it to see who is talking to them. Not to go and see, I wonder what I can find that's going to be entertaining. They know that what's in their inbox is there for them because they have given their email address to the people who are emailing them. So particularly if you are speaking to a business, they're opening their email inbox with a business mindset on already, right? They are in work mode. So they're opening their email, thinking about work. So email is where you can convert people. It's totally different. It's a conversion platform. The two platforms are so different. Couldn't be more different. And a far smaller percentage of people will see your content on social media than they ever will in your email. You're competing with so many different people. You only have to go and look at your analytics to see how much of your audience you've reached in the past 30 days, for example, to know how small of a percentage that is in comparison to your emails. If you were to go and look at your, like an average of your email open rates, for example, in comparison to your list, it's going to be higher. It just is. It's just the way that things work. But on social media, this is why I say social media is an attention platform. A lot of your content will be seen by people who are not following you. So they're not your audience. They're not necessarily the right people, but you're getting their attention. Whereas on email, you know they're the right people because they've signed up to get your emails. The other thing that you need to think about in terms of like the difference between social and email is that on social media, you can't control whether somebody sees your content. That's a given. But you also can't control the order in which they see your content. And that's important because if you want to take people through like a structured kind of sales journey and have them see lots of different messages about why they should work with you, hire you, buy from you, etc., you can't guarantee that that's going to happen on social media. It's far more likely to happen when you are sending people emails because you can send them in a specific order, you can overcome objections at a specific time. You know, it's much easier to make sure that people see the messages that you want to see when you want to see them in the right order. And people are just more likely to buy from email. That is just a cold, hard fact. It's proven in statistics from business to business to business. Even in our business, we know that people are much more likely to buy via an email than via an ad or via social content. It's just a fact. So if you're not emailing people and you want to sell people something or you want them to hire you, and you're not showing up in the place that they're going to make that decision. The other thing about email is that you can build a much deeper relationship with people in their inbox by sending them an email than you can on social media. Because on social media, it feels like even when you're watching a video and they're using like the right language to speak to you, you know that they're speaking to everyone. You know that this content was for everyone. And you can see all the comments and likes from everyone else. So it just psychologically backs up the fact that that piece of content wasn't created for you. Email is different. Email feels like somebody's sending you a message. It's more personal. You're much more likely to reply to an email, right? Because no one else is going to see it apart from the person that you're emailing. Whereas on social media, it's much more public. So you can just build a deeper relationship with people on email. And email lives longer, lives way longer than your social content. Because even if somebody doesn't open their inbox today or this week or next week, when they do open their inbox, your email will still be there. If they don't go on social for a week or so, they may not see your content. In fact, it's very likely that they won't see your content. So email just has like longer lifetime span than social content. So that is mindset shift number one. I want you to understand that email and social media have two different jobs. They're very, very different. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but if you are trying to sell to people or get people to hire you, it's far better and far easier to do that on an email than it is in social content. The second mindset shift that I want you to have is that people think that email is hard. I want to tell you it's not. Email is so much easier than social content. Hear me out on this because I can already hear people disagreeing with me. Email is so much easier than social content because if you can write an email. That's it. You don't have to think about hooks. You don't have to think about trending audio. You don't have to spend hours creating a carousel in Canva. You don't have to, there's so many different things you do not have to do. You don't have to worry about hashtags or whether you should tag somebody or what time you should post that, your audience are most likely to engage. You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about, oh God, I really need to get some likes on this so that it gets pushed out to more people. None of that matters. You don't have to think about any of that. It's just so much easier. You can rock up and you can write an email. If you can type, you can write an email. And in fact, you don't even have to type. You could use an app like Whisperflow and you could talk and it would type it for you. So as long as you can speak the same language as the people who you want to read your emails, you can send an email. But people overcomplicate it and they think that it's far more difficult than that. It's not. If you think about the one person you want to speak to in your inbox, send them a message. Just write it. Just write a message to that one person. And like, I know that people say that with social content, but obviously it's different, isn't it? It's a different mindset because you still have to meet all of these rules to make sure that your content's seen. That's not the case on social. Just think about that one person that you want to send an email to. And if you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, that's great, but what on earth would I say? If you're creating social media content, go deeper on your social media content. Give people more when they're on your email. Give them, like, exclusivity is so valuable. So for example, like, we send exclusive content to our email list that we don't put out anywhere else. So in last week's podcast, I was talking about the meal planning agent that I have set up. If you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to that, by the way. But I was talking about how I have an AI agent that plans my meals. Our email subscribers got to see what that looked like. I literally, in the email, we showed them what it looked like. No one else got to see that. It was only for our email subscribers. So it's about giving people something that you're not necessarily giving anywhere else, or you're giving them the same thing but delivered in a different way, said in a different way. You know, people consume content in different ways, don't they? Sometimes we can take something in because we've watched a video. Sometimes we take something in because we've read it. Sometimes we need to hear things. There's lots of different ways that people take content in. If you can create content for social, you can write an email. It's just about grabbing the caption and writing it in a different way and putting it in a message to one person. Like, there's loads of different ways that you can think of topics to write for an email. But if you can think of topics for social content, you can think of topics for emails. But let me just give you a couple of ways that you can also think of topics, right? And I'm going to do this in a way of you selling something or getting somebody to hire you. What are the big questions that people ask you when it comes to buying whatever it is you're selling or hiring you? Every single one of those questions could be an email. What are the objections that stop people or make people hesitate about getting in touch to hire you, filling in your application form, buying your course, whatever it is? What are those objections? Those are all an email. What are the features of working with you? What are the features of the course that you're selling or the power hour you're selling? What are the features? That's an email. Right? There's so many different things that you can write emails about. And a lot of times people think of emails as being more like a newsletter or a magazine. No, we're not doing that. That's not going to help you to get sales. Email marketing is different. It's one message to one person in one email. And that's what makes it so easy. You only have to think of one thing. You don't have to write loads and loads of different things, loads of different links to different things, go and do loads of research. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to think about, what do I want people to know about today? And just write an email. Email is so much easier than social media content. And normally people will go and create their social content and they'll do their email like after. I would challenge you to flip it. Go email first, because whatever you write in your email, you can strip down a little bit and you can make into social content. And then in the caption or the CTA is, by the way, if you want more about this, I share more exclusive content in my email. So you're getting people to be interested in your emails and read them if they're subscribed or want to sign up because they're going to get more. You'll see us do that quite a lot on our Instagram. Okay, my third final mindset shift comes down to what people often say to us about how they worry that they don't want to email because they don't want to annoy people. They're worried about emailing too much, or they've only got a small list, so they're going to wait for a little while before they send emails. Let me tell you now, people who sign up for your emails want to get emails from you. That's the whole reason they've signed up. They want to have your emails. So you're not going to annoy them if you're giving them the thing that you've told them they're going to get. If you've told them that they can sign up to get exclusive content about social media and then you email them about dog food, yes, they're going to be annoyed. But if you tell them that you're going to email them about social media content and then you email them about social media content, why would they be annoyed? The two things don't stack up. And if you're waiting for your list to grow before you start emailing, let me tell you something. A smaller list is better because you have a higher conversion rate. You get to know your subscribers far better. So you know what resonates with them. You can do more of what's working. You can have more personal conversations. Don't wait until you've got more subscribers before you start sending emails, because those early adopters to your email list are sitting there going, why on earth is this person not emailing me? You've disappointed them. By the time you eventually do email them, they've forgotten you existed. They've forgotten why they're getting your emails. Then they're going to get annoyed because they don't remember why they're getting emails. Then they're going to unsubscribe, right? And on the unsubscribe thing, I just want to remind you, it doesn't matter if people unsubscribe. Don't worry about them unsubscribing. That's a good thing. If people unsubscribe, it's just because the content or whatever you're talking about isn't relevant to them anymore. And that's fine. We all move on. We all have, changes in our business. Things are relevant today that are not going to be relevant tomorrow. Things change all the time. If people unsubscribe, it's not because they hate you. It's not because they hate what you're talking about. It's not because they disagree with you. It's because whatever is in the emails just isn't relevant to them right now. And maybe it'll be relevant to them again in the future. Maybe it won't. That's fine. Unsubscribes are good because you're paying to send emails. You don't want to pay to send an email to somebody who doesn't want to read it. So allow people to unsubscribe and get over the blocker of thinking, if I send an email, people are going to unsubscribe. If you don't send an email, what's the point of having an email list, right? Lots of people say, oh no, I'm not going to email, again, because I don't want people to unsubscribe from my list. Okay, but if you've got something that's useful and helpful to say, then say it. Send it to your email list. It's a good thing. So I really hope these 3 mindset shifts are going to help you to start sending more emails. So just a quick reminder of what they were. Email and social media are very different. They're different platforms. They've got different purposes. Use them for different things. Email is easier than social media. It's just about writing a message. And don't worry about people unsubscribing. Don't worry about how often you're emailing. If you've got something to say it. Be useful and helpful. Share exclusive content and people will love reading your emails. So start sending more emails if you've already got an email list. It will help your business. I absolutely guarantee it. And if you haven't started an email list yet, hopefully this podcast will be your sign to add it to the top of your list and get it done as soon as possible. If you want more help, by the way, with growing an email list, we've got so many different resources on our website. You can come and drop into our Instagram. We can point you in the right direction. And we'll be back in your ears with another episode really soon.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of JFDI with the two Lauras. If you want more support, strategy and systems to run your social media business, we send exclusive content to our email list almost every day. You can sign up at thetwolauras.com/emails. Thank you so much for being part of our community and we'll see you on socials.